All right, we're going to start the journaling methods with the heavy hitter. One, because it's it's the hardest thing to do, right? Journaling about your past, your struggles, the things that you've gone through, the tough experiences that you've gone through. It's not easy, right? And I've touched on this a little bit in prior modules, but we're really going to go into this. Journaling about the things that you've gone through has profound effects for your mental and even your physical health, your immune system, stress, stuff like that. I don't know the exact science behind it, but I can tell you from personal experience that journaling about these tough moments in your life have profound benefits on your mental health, on developing your self-awareness, on finding these pivotal moments in your life that are the reason why you are right now. If you want to watch a video that talks more about stuff like this, there's going to be an hour-long Andrew Huberman podcast on journaling, which is very similar to this. And so I'll link that. Journaling about your struggles and your traumas will help you. It's going to be hard. But you've already told me that you're a young man who's willing to do the hard work, right? Who's willing to cross the moat to improve and to grow, right? Prove it to me by watching this video and then taking the action step at the end. Let me tell you a little bit of my story. I was 8 years old in the second grade, and I was at my school's Winter Wonderland. It's like this little dance slash party festival. I don't know. It was weird. It was cute, right? Not as cute as me though, right? And my little button down and my bow tie. I ain't gonna lie. In second grade, I was kind of the man. Basically, all the girls in my class wanted me, like damn near. There was like 11 or 12 girls in my class, right? Class of 22 to 24, something like that, 25, and like seven of them were on me, like constantly, always. I would give you names of them, but I don't give real names, and I don't feel like I'm met with fake names right now. Right? But I was chilling off all those girls. I wasn't worried about them. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I would entertain them. I was low key friendly, but I knew where home was. I knew where home was. My girl Grace. You feel me? Right? Grace was super smart, smartest girl in our grade. She was super funny. She was kind, and she was tall. Oh man, she's definitely why I like long legs. Her and Zendaya. Oh my god. So I'm at the dance, and I'm probably dancing. I'm doing something, but I'm by my lonely, right? I'm not with the homies or anything. And Sasha comes pull up on me. Sasha's the homie. We're mad cool. I've actually known Sasha longer than I've known anybody else at my school. Me and Sasha went to the same daycare together when we were like 3 or 4 years old. So that's always been the homie, right? She pulls up on me. I'm like, yo, what's poppin', Sasha? What's Gucci? Let me tell you this right now. Sasha and Grace are best friends, all right? Sasha pulls up on me. She's like, hey, Jaden, Grace is breaking up with you. And I was just like I was speechless. 2 nights ago, I was singing Jason Derulo's "Will You Marry Me?" I just hit that shit. I was singing that, thinking about her, bro. Now, of course, I was 8, so like we weren't gonna get married, but that's not the point, bro. I really, really like this girl. She was my first girlfriend, right? She'd been my girlfriend since first grade. That was a year. That's crazy. That's actually my longest relationship. Think about it. Hey yo. But it was like I was taken aback. I was like, what the fuck? Why did she break up to me? Yes, I said what the fuck. I was cursing, bro. Let me tell you this right now. This is a little tangent, but bro, I had the worst influence growing up. This dude, nah man, he was a piece of trash. He used to be my friend. And we were like cool in elementary school. Then he moved away. He actually lives in Florida now. I do not like that kid though. He's like actually like a piece of garbage. So I do not associate with him. Some of my like friends from elementary school who I am still cool with, they still mess with him. I don't mess with him. I think he's a piece of garbage. Now, Is it because he was responsible for taking away a lot of my innocence? Yes. But he's also just not like a he's just not a decent person. Like he always talks shit about people. He's kind of a misogynist and womanizer. He's like super offensive to LGBTQ people. All that shit. Like he's just a piece of trash. So I don't mess with him. I don't mess with him anymore. That's not the point though. Fast forward. What the fuck? I'm tripping. All right. So fast forward about 11 years. Right. I'm 19. And I'm just starting to realize how much this one moment, my second grade girlfriend breaking my heart, has truly affected me. I didn't even know, legitimately. And this was also a contributor to why I had those walls up, the walls I wasn't aware of. From age 8 to 14, I didn't try to ask out or make any moves when it came to getting girls. I had fat ass crushes on girls, bro. There was this one girl especially. I did eventually tell her that I like had this big old crush on her, but we were like way past that stage. We were like 16 or something. I didn't actually like want it to lead somewhere. I just kind of wanted to tell her. But bro, I had the absolute fattest crush in the world on this girl in 5th and 6th grade. Never said a thing to her. Never. I was way too scared. I was way too fucking scared. Now I had stints in 7th grade, right, with talking to a couple girls. I actually grabbed ass for the first time in 7th grade. But besides that, nothing. I didn't feel confident in myself until I basically had the school hoe throwing herself on me when I was 14. Let's call her K. That's because her name starts with a K. And I don't feel like coming up with a name. K was a thought. But I was a fool and I didn't know that. Hey, yo. So, unfortunately for me, I didn't know she was hoe. And I decided to make her my girl. What a goofy, right? That's not the point. She was my first girlfriend since Grace. So she was like my second girlfriend ever. Grace was my first, Kay was my second, and I had another one after that, who I attribute to being my first love. Kay, yeah, she sucked. But she was also my first kiss, which is actually crazy, right? I grabbed ass in 7th grade before I even had my first kiss. Pretty backwards, right? That's a story for another day, though. She was also my first opportunity for sex, which was actually months after we broke up, but I folded because I didn't have a condom on me. But I'm glad I folded because hitting that raw would have been crazy. Yeah, I'm glad that didn't happen. I'm glad she said no because I was about it. And she was down for it that day. She literally pulled up to my crib with no panties on, bro. And it was after school. She had went to school with no panties on because she knew she was going to pull up to my crib after. That's besides the point. Hey, yo. I didn't actually understand how insecure and terrified to approach girls or um, get out of relationships or situationships, right? Like ending things with girls. So when it came to approaching them, talking to them in the first place, but also if I had one or was in a situationship with them, I was fucking absolutely terrified of them leaving me. I didn't like I was so scared of the change. I was so scared of feeling lonely. And I didn't even like really know why. until 2 months ago during a journaling session when I finally unpacked the Grace situation, right? There's a phrase from Dr. K. I can't find the exact video, so I'm sorry about that. But he called it a nugget of trauma, right? And a nugget of trauma is kind of like something that's traumatic, right? So let's define trauma real quick. Trauma is when we experience very stressful, frightening, or distressing events that are difficult to cope with or out of our control, right? So for me, even though I was 8 years old and it wasn't that big of a deal, right? To me, Grace breaking my heart, that was a nugget of trauma. Because I was like, bro, what the fuck? I got no closure. I got no understanding why. It was completely out of my control. And I felt very insecure after it. Unpacking that nugget of trauma when Dr. K talked about it, I was in the car watching a video actually. And he was like, what is that key moment, that pivotal moment in your life that led to that leads to where you are right now in certain aspects of your life? This key moment can be a lot of different things for a lot of people. It could be a relationship ending. It can be the first time your parents hit you, or the many times after that they did. Maybe it was abuse or assault. There's a lot of key and pivotal moments for a lot of people. A lot of these moments where the world fucks us and say, we put our walls up. When I was in the car thinking about it, I was like, holy shit. Grace breaking up with me actually had more impact on me than I realized. It made me question my self-worth. Why did she break up with me? Am I not good enough? It's gotta be me. It's gotta be me. Grace was awesome. So like I'm obviously the piece of trash, right? I was entertaining these girls. I don't know. I didn't get the closure. She never talked to me why. You know? I felt the pain of heartbreak with zero closure, with no understanding why. And it was fucking trash. And so it affected my future relationships or situationships, whatever. Whenever I was involved with girls, once I had you, I could not let you go. It's like, no, you can't leave me. I don't know how to deal. I don't know how to cope. You probably won't give me the closure. You won't give me the understanding why. So I can't let it happen. I used to think it was just because I was lonely. That was the very shallow reason. Not shallow. That's not shallow. But the surface reason. The real reason was because I was terrified of them leaving. And me not knowing why. Of my self-worth being attached to them. Like they always were. Every single one. From Grace to Jessica and all 15 in between. Every single time I attached my self-worth to them. There was probably 2 girls in between that time that I didn't. Three girls in between that time that I didn't. 3 out of 15 or no, it's actually more than that. Say like 20. 3 out of 20? Was that like 7%? Nah, it's less than that. Because 5 out of 20 is. I don't feel like doing math right now. That's a very low amount. Which means that 80-90% of the time, I was quite literally attaching the way I felt about myself, my self-image, the way I viewed myself, how I valued myself, to my relationship with these girls and what they thought of me. I didn't have any respect for myself. I didn't believe in myself. I thought I was a piece of trash. I didn't even know that. That was unknown for me for 11 years. And I didn't unpack that until I journal about it. Bro, I had everybody in my grade telling me that Kay was cheating on me, that she was a thought. She's like, yo, what are you? They're like, what are you doing, bro? Like, she's like kissing on all these dudes. She's talking to all these dudes. I was like, nah, man, she wouldn't do that. Like, that's my girl, bro. I trust her. I was a fucking idiot. One time, people are just chatting shit. 2 times is a pattern. 2 times is a pattern. And it literally took me seeing it, not with my own eyes, but my actual like homies, like not people in my school, not everyone else, but my actual homies were like, yo, Jaden, what the fuck are you doing? It was at this little Saturday event we had, and this thought really kissed another dude at the fucking event, and people saw it. She had the fucking balls, the fucking ovaries to cheat on me within a fucking 100 feet vicinity. That's probably too short. 200 feet. I don't know. Who cares? And then she tried to tell me, "Oh nah, it wasn't like that," or some bullshit. I don't know what the bullshit was. I was like, "Fuck you, bitch." And I still tried to hit that after. But that was for revenge, honestly. Legitimately, that's because I wanted control. That's because I wanted to make her feel like she did me. You know how she did me. I don't believe in that approach, but if you do it or if you've done it, I get it. I literally couldn't let go until it was overwhelmingly impossible to do it. I mean, to not do it. Until Jessica literally cut off all communication with me. She blocked me on the gram. She stopped texting me. She stopped coming to my dorm hall. Until I literally stopped seeing her all the time, I couldn't start getting over her. I didn't want to. I still wanted that inkling of hope that we could be something one day. I was holding on to it so tight, so tight. And it was destroying me. It was destroying me. Let me tell you this right now. If a person is no longer in your life, that's okay. Alex Hormozy said this. He was talking about friends, but this applies to all people. This applies to all relationships. People are in your life for a season, a part of your life. Could be a couple months, could be a couple years, whatever. For a reason, which is to teach you something, or for a lifetime. We all know what that means. Most people are in your life for a season or for a reason. That reason could be because they're trying to use you, unfortunately. That reason could be because they're trying to help you. And then once you've gotten over that level, they're no longer going to be in your life. That reason could be because they were meant to cross paths with you so you could learn something from each other and then you could break away. Jessica was in my life for a reason. That reason was to show me my damage and to start my journey of self-improvement. And I'm forever grateful for that reason. I don't really talk to any of my friends from New Jersey. Not because it's not love, but because I'm in a different season of life than they are right now. I'm on my self-improvement journey. I'm trying to level up in life, in business. I want to be better. And a lot of them are still druggies. No offense. That's the truth, though. They don't want to deal. They don't want to learn. They don't want to heal. They don't want to grow. They want to cope. And so I don't really talk to them anymore. Which is unfortunate because I love my homies. And I wish that we could be on this journey together. But I also understand that we all walk different paths. And even though I hope they come up and they catch up to me eventually and we maintain this friendship for a lifetime, I understand that I'm not in that season anymore. And if that means leaving them behind, that means leaving them behind. It took me a long, long time to accept that. And it's still very hard for me to accept that. But I can't keep holding myself back because other people don't want to grow. If you're here because you felt lonely on your self improvement journey, because you wanted help that you weren't getting from other people about your mental health, about growing yourself, about improving yourself, that's why I'm here. That's why I built this platform. I felt fucking lonely for months. From September/October to December, the first week of December, for about that 2-ish months until I joined Adonis school, I felt so lonely, man. I'm like, bro, why am I the only one who fucking gives a fuck about improving myself? Why am I the only one who's willing to do what the fuck it takes? Why am I the only one? I wasn't. But I wasn't aware of those people that were around me. Because they're not around me. They're all over the world. And when I finally joined Adonis school and I joined that brotherhood, I was like, oh, this is where the fuck I should be. And that's what I hope Dubs Uni could be for you. That's what I hope this community can be for you. A place where people gather, who spread kind messages, who spread support, who big you up in your times of strength, in your wins, for your dubs, but are also there for you when you're feeling down, when you're not feeling as strong. Who want to come on and support you when you share your story on the mental health calls, and who applaud you for opening up and being vulnerable. I applaud you for opening up and being vulnerable. Dealing with your struggles is not easy. It's fucking hard. Dealing with loneliness is very fucking hard. For a long time, I tried to feel that loneliness with girls. It didn't work. But what also won't work is trying to feel that loneliness with other people before doing the work to understand why you feel lonely. Why you feel alone, why you feel truly isolated. For me, that was because of my home environment. That was because when I grew up, I was constantly split through 2 or 3 houses. Mama and Papa, my grandparents, my mom's parents, who I lived with my mom up until I was 8 years old. When we 7. I was in first grade when we moved out. My mom, and my sister, we got our own apartment. Grandparents, mom, and dad. Up until I was 10, I'd only go see my dad's every other weekend. And when I was there, it was awesome. It was love, but it was also chaos. And there was 7 people in a tiny apartment most of the time, which meant 0 personal space for Jay, 0 room to breathe for Jay. All the responsibility of big brother Jay. Now, I'm the middle kid, right? It goes my sister, then my stepbrother. Me and my sister are full blood, well, same mom and dad. There's my stepbrother. Then there's me. And then there's my 2 younger brothers, who are my half brothers, right, from my dad. Love all those fools. But these fools down here, my 2 younger brothers, I was responsible for them. And a lot of the time, I didn't want to be. I mean, especially became apparent when I started seeing my dad more often. When I was 10 in fourth grade, up until my dad eventually moved down here and I moved with him. When I was in seventh grade, so I was 13, I think. 13. I would go back and forth between my mom's and my dad's, or my grandparents and my dad's, for a week at a time, which means I was a week on isolation, disconnect emotionally with my grandparents, but I could at least be by myself. At least there was order in the house. Or I was on the other side. My sister wasn't always there. My older brother, he had his own room. And so it was me and the other boys in the room together. I'm just going to tell you my siblings' names. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. My sister's name is Kilani. That's Lala. That's the goat. That's her nickname for me. I'm the only person that calls her Lala. Everyone else calls her Lonnie, right? There's my older brother. His name is Malik. It's my stepbrother, right? There's me, JC. You know what I'm saying? Dubs, your boy. There's my little brother Kanye. He's about a year under me. He's 18 at the moment. And then there's Mari, right? He's 15 at the moment. So he's 3.5 years younger than me. Once I hit 10, once I hit middle school, especially, middle school is rough, dude. Because not only was I going back and forth through these home environments, but I'd also just stopped believing in myself. And I stopped doing a lot of the things that I like. I'm going to touch on this more in another module. But I used to love to draw. I used to love to dance. I told you about this earlier. I just stopped. I'm not good enough. So I just kept playing more video games. I was obsessed with Black Ops 2 at this time. I love Black Ops 2. But that time was very hard for me. On one side, there's emotional disconnect, but there's order, right, with my grandparents. When with my dad, there's love, there's abundance, but it's complete chaos. And the one thing that was common between the two was that I was always responsible. I always had to put other people before me, whether that be my siblings, whether that had to be my grandparents, whether that had to be my mom. My mom has MS, multiple sclerosis. She's disabled. And she has been all my life. In all my life, I've only seen her get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And it fucking sucks. She's been getting a little better over the past year. She's gotten this I don't remember what it's called, but it's like some shit that's in her spine that helps her. But for a lot of the time, I had to be responsible for just other people. Other people straight up depended on me. And as a kid, that's a lot to bear. And so I turned away from the things that I didn't want to do. I turned away from my loves of art, of expression, making videos, drawing, dancing. And I started to cope even harder. I fapped. That's when I discovered porn, when I was 10, actually. Started to fap, started to watch video games. I started to play video games more and more. I started to eat a lot in this time. I gained a lot of weight, and I didn't like it. Middle school was hard for me. Georgia was too, because now I was full time on Big Brother mode. And even though I had my own room, there was still no personal space because the boys just came into my room whenever the fuck they wanted and wanted to chill with me, wanted to play video games with me, wanted to watch me play video games. And it's like, I love my brothers, right? And I appreciate that they looked up to me and that they wanted to spend time with me. But I needed my time. I needed my space. And the thing is, I didn't know how to talk about it. I didn't know how to express myself. Because I was terrified of being misjudged. So I never tried. I was terrified of what people would say. I was terrified of being the bad guy. I didn't want to let anyone down. I've always been a people pleaser. Always. And so I let that continuously get to me. And continuously get to me. Never talking about it. Never, 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 never. Till I snapped. After 7th grade, I was supposed to be visiting New Jersey. I knew I wasn't coming back. And I didn't tell my dad about it until the second to last day of my trip. You know what's crazy? During this conversation with my dad, I actually considered coming back home. Coming back here, rather. Even though this is home. I actually considered coming back here. But I didn't. And you know why? Because I had already told all my friends that I'm staying in Jersey. I couldn't let them down. And so I decided to let my dad down instead. People pleasing. I've lived a very blessed life. And my struggles are nowhere near some of the struggles that other people have went through. Shit, my best friend, Ghosted, my boy Kanye. He's gone through some hard fucking times. But don't try to compare your struggles to other people's struggles. You should use them and you should be grateful for what you do have. But at the same time, you need to accept that things that you've gone through, they were shitty. I got absolutely fucking robbed of my innocence. Absolutely robbed. I started cursing when I was 5 years old. I knew about sex when I was 6. I started to fap when I was 10. In between that, I had the responsibility of doing shit for my mom all the time, taking care of my younger brothers. When I came here and lived with my dad full time, I was full time on big bro mode. I also didn't know how to not please people, so I couldn't talk about my emotions. I would have to fucking bear responsibility because the boys did shit because it was on my watch, right? I'm Big Bro J. And so now I'm getting punished for shit that they did. The fuck is that? It's bullshit. If you have siblings, I know you felt that before. Eventually, when I came back to Jersey, I had to deal with my girl struggles that had manifested because of mama, that had manifested because of Grace. I had to deal with depression, anxiety. I've struggled a lot. We've all struggled a lot because life is fucking hard. But you know what? I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade anything for a fucking second. Because the fact that I lost my innocence so early is my advantage. That is my competitive advantage. That is something that makes me special. I feel like I'm a 25-year-old in a 20-year-old body. I feel like I have the wisdom and the life experience of someone that's 25. I feel like my mentality is way more mature than people my age. None of that would have happened if I lost my innocence later. So even though it sucked, it's made me who I am. And it's allowed me to deliver my story, which I hope can help people, which I hope helps you. If you're still watching this course, you're a real one. And I know that you're truly about what we're about here in Dubs Uni, which is self-improvement, which is bettering your mental health. Hard times are hard, but hard times make hard people. You are strong. You know why? Because you went through hard times, and guess what? You're still here, right? You're still breathing, right? That means you're strong. You didn't fold. You didn't know when you were going to get through the thing, but you got through it. I'm proud of you. So here's your call to action. Here's your action step. Here's your call to action. Fucking idiot. Here's your action step. Where is... I had some questions here. Oh, they're right here. I'm a fucking bot. I want you to write, I want you to journal on a difficult or traumatic moment in your life. If you're feeling up to it, I want you to write a post about it and share your story. This community is here for you to lean on. I'm here for you to lean on. If you don't feel quite up to it yet, it's okay. Journal about it and make a post about how you feel about the situation that you've gone through after, without going into too many details about the specifics, if you don't feel comfortable sharing that yet. Maybe if you want, you can write it, tear out the piece of paper, and then just rip it up to shreds. This is twofold. One, because we won't actually be able to see it because it's in shreds. But when you write about something that was hard for you, and then you literally destroy it by ripping it up, it gives you more power over that situation. And it allows you to let go. I've done that a few times myself, and it's very freeing. If you can't think of anything, let me give you some prompts real quick. Me too. Number one, what's something that's constantly been on your mind, that overthinking, that's constantly been in your mind that you're overthinking, anxious, or stressed about? Could be something recent, could be something that happened a month ago, could be something that happened a year ago. If it's still on your mind, get it down. Number two, what's a key pivotal moment, right? What's a nugget of trauma, right, from your past that still affects you to this day? I really, really challenge you to take action on this immediately. And then make the post about it. Either about your story specifically, about how you felt about it, or sending us a picture of the ripped up paper and how free you felt after you did that. I want to see your dubs. And that is a dub. Processing your emotions, going through these hard times, that's a dub. And if you did that, I'm very proud of you. You are strong. So go do that right now, and then we'll click on the next module, which will not be as heavy. All right, we're gonna talk about lighter things now, which is gratitude journaling. Yay!